This video is a video I didn't think I'd ever have to create. So I'm going to start out saying that some of the stuff I'm going to say may have a negative tone, but I'm pissed off. Like, I just can't believe the stuff that I saw slash heard, and I'm just going to address that now. This video is dedicated to the people in marketing, to any person that ever had to deal with a customer via email, via person, via telephone, right? If you've ever had someone say something really stupid to you and then you smiled back or typed something nicely that said, I'm sorry for your inconvenience. Or in this case, we have this message here about the product delays from Weiss Schwarz. So again, they said it's due to COVID. Some people didn't believe it. Some people put really stupid remarks. And at the bottom of it, they said, we seek your understanding and patience with regards to these delays and urge everyone to stay safe in these difficult times. So luckily for me, I don't actually work for Bushiroad or Weiss Schwarz. So these are one of those moments that this is a reality check for people that don't understand what this message actually means. Like, you must think the world freaking revolves around you, and I'm gonna tell you it doesn't. And to point out what I'm talking about, I'm gonna just start out with a couple products. I know everybody loves to see products from different companies, but we're gonna start out with this. Pokemon Battle Styles, Battle Styles. This thing, where was it made in? Let's see if this thing could see it. If you could see all the way to the right here, there it is. It's hidden underneath the Pokeball. It says printed in the USA. All right, printed in the USA. Great, awesome. We got ourselves Flesh and Blood Monarch. Where was this made in? This thing was made in Belgium. Made in Belgium. All right. Last one we got here. Theros Beyond Death, Magic the Gathering. Made in the good old USA. Last question for you. Does anybody know where Weiss Schwarz English product is made in? I'll let you take a second to think about that. Answer. Malaysia. It fell. All right. We have this release schedule, and as you can see on here, we know there's a delay. We had Heaven's Feel come out. That came out August 20th. And next thing that we know is Slime 2 October 8th. So there's this gap here. And in September, there's no printing here. There was a comment on this actual post on Facebook. September, the month that English Weiss Schwarz forgot. Lol. I would counter and say the people buying English format of Weiss Schwarz forgot what country this came from. So if you haven't been paying attention, again, if you think the world revolves around you and your country, there is other countries out there in the world that are not currently in the same freaking situation that we find ourselves here, right? So if you don't know, Malaysia is Southeast Asia. And what's happening in Southeast Asia right now is there's COVID. As you can see, Southeast Asia, COVID continues to disrupt Asia's supply chain, world economy supply chain getting worse. So we even have here Toyota slashes productions because they can't get chips. There's chip shortages everywhere, and because they can't get it from Southeast Asia, which our good old friend Malaysia happens to be in. So if you haven't noticed, Malaysia is one of those places that has a crap load of outbreak. So much so that, let's see, here we go. Malaysia's new COVID-19 cases remain above 20,000 for the fourth straight day. And if you look at the date of this article, that thing says August 27th, which is today, right? So back in June 15th, we have a article here that says there is a 4-phase COVID recovery plan for Malaysia, right? So the 4-phase plan is phase 1. This should sound familiar. Only essential services allowed. To enter phase two, they need less than 4,000 daily COVID cases. If we just take a look at the article from today, we have Malaysia's new COVID cases remain above 20,000 for the fourth straight day. So if you put two and two together, truthfully, under their plan that they had in June, essential services were the only ones that were to be allowed out there. But what ended up happening around August 7th is they have a new benchmark set for recovery plan phases. So as we know, people are getting vaccines. And because people are getting vaccines, there is an easing and changing of the phases of the plan. Part of the reason is because they knew if they don't ease these restrictions, businesses would die. That's really what it comes down to. So this article is basically saying this is right here. So the minister noted that if the easing of restrictions did not begin now, more workers and businesses would be impacted. You know, a lot of people would lose their jobs, and I think in this thing it said 4 million workers would have lost their job. So when you think about it, again, in the world, in the country that you are actually in, right? Like what is happening in your country? Are you allowed to go out to eat? Are you allowed to go to work? Are you allowed to do certain things? Are you allowed to go hang out, go to a movie? Well, you know what? These people just started being able to actually go out and eat and actually do things. And you could see again how many people were actually affected by day. Here's the amount of people vaccinated. So when we take a look at our cards, right? Like when you take a look at the cards and when you take a look at this message, if you are telling people that, you know, you don't believe it's COVID, that you keep questioning why, you have to remember again that the conditions in your country don't apply to every other country. And to complain about not getting playing cards, that should be the least of most concern of everybody out there concerned with, right? Like people can't get chips for cars to drive to wherever they need to drive to, right? There's other things in the world that is much more needed at this point than you getting your playing cards. And you know, again, when you look at the schedule, there was plenty of sets that came out that I can guarantee people didn't get to play thoroughly just because, you know, like shops were closed. You couldn't do leagues and all of that stuff. Plus side is this gives you actual time to save up money to get more of the stuff because as you can see here again, there is going to be a ton of sets that are coming and they're going to jam some of these in as much as they can, you know, 2 per month. So I would imagine it's going to keep happening. More than likely there may be more delays just because of all of this, right? Like I don't understand how people are just like really upset about not getting their cards when the people are actually getting sick and or dying. Like it just blows my mind that this is a thing that you think that somehow these cards someone should be sending it to you on a given schedule and you need it every month. You don't need them every month. We need chips too. We need chips for cars. We need technology. We need those all first. And again, this will eventually ease up, right? This will get better over time. We all know there's vaccines, there's proper procedures on how to take care of ourselves and all that good stuff, whatever. But again, I think you just have to understand, like these are just delays. You know, having stupid messages or putting pictures of Y on there. I don't care if this is you see this as me like going after certain comments. I don't care. I just it ticks me off that people can't understand. And again, for people that's ever had to deal with customers, I know how that is because I've done it myself for what, 4 years? No, actually more. I've been in customer service for at least a good 8 years of my life. So I know when you get someone saying that to your face and you have to be very polite and nice. But in this case, I'm not going to be very nice and polite, right? This is the truth of what's happening out here. And if you can't understand, I don't think you ever will. And that just proves how selfish of a person that you actually are. Have a good one.